Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Legit Agents. Today, another fun one. Subjective. I think they're fun. I like them, or I wouldn't be on this camera. But a little bit of a unique, different spin to some content as far as like helping you guys out. But we're going to be talking about the 3 successful habits of real estate agents that maybe you're not thinking of.
Let's go. What's up, guys? We are the Legit Agents. I am Schmidt. This is my partner, Will Grimes. If it's your first time checking our channel out, first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here. Second of all, while you're here, hit that subscribe button, lock that notification bell so you get notified every Tuesday and Thursday when we drop a new video telling you everything it takes to be a successful real estate agent in this modern age.
100%. And yes, we are licensed brokers. And we are looking at teaming up with other agents across the country, helping you build your brand and your business. That number popping up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages. We're also the guys who answer the emails. That being said, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the 3 successful habits of realtors. And there might be a couple here that maybe you're not thinking of, or maybe if you are thinking of it, the way that we spin it, maybe you're not quite thinking of, but definitely a recipe for success. Definitely something you should be looking into.
So, guys, just to start this off real quick, give you a little bit of context. So, Will and I, we've been in business about 5 years. We've generated we've been through the gamut in terms of just growing a team and then building, rebranding and doing
He's
ourselves.
been through the gamut. I came and just...
He did. He saved me. He
What
saved
this
me.
guy's talking
Not
about.
gonna lie. But, guys, we've also...
If we were a movie, I'd be like The Rock on some Baywatch movie, like saving this sucker.
Oh, yeah. I know. Or David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
So, guys, in addition to our success, we've had the pleasure of being able to be around some other very, very, very successful real estate agents. And we all know right now, in terms of being a successful real estate agent, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of people who are trying to game the system, make it seem like they're more successful than they're not. But we've had the pleasure of being around some real hitters. And what we found is that there's just some common denominators between ourselves and these others.
He's trying to, like, because I'm making fun of him, he's trying to overpass me. What we found was, like, there's a lot of commonality. So if you guys don't know my story, if you haven't seen it on Living in Denver, our podcast, like when I decided to walk away from a fitness company, I slept in a buddy's mom's old Y2K pantry. I had $36 to my name, but from the military background and the government contract background and police background, like, I'd done a great job at putting myself under pressure to be successful. And there were things I was doing when I was in that pantry. There was a reason why I was living in that pantry, not with my in-laws, and that was because I did not want to have any distraction of what I was trying to accomplish. I didn't want to be eating cake during the holidays with my daughter and not studying. I wanted to live and breathe everything that I wanted to accomplish and be 100% all in and committed to my next project. I would wake up and I would go to the gym.
How many grams of protein you eat?
And I would get my mind right. From there, I would study all day, and then from there, I'd go do some, believe it or not, I would go do lift. Yes, go look at my Instagram, Will_Grimes. Those videos are still on there from when I was getting my broker's license.
Look at the very first one.
Still there. Just not being romantic, how you make your money and doing what you have to do in order to do what you want to do in building that success. But as we grew into the top 1% worldwide for Berkshire Hathaway. Then we grew into the top 0.5% worldwide for Berkshire Hathaway. And along that journey, in addition to where we are now, we've met a lot of agents. And what we've seen is, like, hey, a lot of, like, how Eli and I pride ourselves on fitness and eating right and getting enough water in us and getting sleep. We're starting to see a lot of that in these higher level successful agents, from the Mark Pattersons and San Diego's to the Jesse and Jacksons to the Greg McDaniels to the Ryan Serhans, like
Joshua Smith.
Smith.
List goes on.
We've been on his podcast a couple times. These guys are keeping their mind dialed in, but physiologically, that's where it all starts. Like, believe it or not, like the lens that you see through and the energy that you've got and how you digest things and how much effort and commitment you give to things, it all starts with you and getting your mind right. But physicality is exactly what you need. Like, that's your physical is like literally the vehicle that's going to carry you into getting your mind right. So something that's super important. But anytime we've been like off a bit or grinding or just working super hard and something feels off or we're not quite getting what we need to get done, it would always fall back on sleep, water, exercise, reading. Those things are important. Yeah, Andy Frisella, we were on his podcast. Phenomenal guy, him and his brother Sal. They've got that 75 hard challenge. way more mental than it is physical. We've done a 24-hour Ironman style diesel day competition. Getting a little long-winded on that, but the bottom line is, man, you've got to learn how to be responsible and committed to yourself and taking care of yourself before anything out here is going to help. And more importantly, especially being in real estate, like whether you're running a team or not, believe it or not, you're an advisor and you're leading your clients. Like they're looking to you for advisement. So no, you don't have to be a bodybuilder and be some weird dude. Like I'm not saying you got to be all that, but just having pride in your appearance, whether it's casual like us or you wear a suit, whatever it may be, having pride in your appearance, looking good and feeling good. And if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And it's super important. Everything matters when it comes to sales and relationships, and just the physical representation of you, in addition to how you articulate and represent yourself. All of that matters when people are just digesting your content or digesting you in person, of whether they're going to listen to you or not.
Perfect.
And I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, guys, now this is one I have a ton of personal experience with.
Number 2, in case you're following,
your circle. This is one I have a ton of personal experience with.
Circle.
When we had joked earlier about years in real estate, and then Will came into my life, and that's when things changed, and he was like, hey, I just crushed out of the gate.
and I pursued him. I had a whole master plan.
It was kind of mutual, but yeah, he did slide into the DMs. I'll give him that. But from here, guys, man, everything changed when my circle changed. And by circle, I mean the immediate 1, 2, 3 people around you who you spend literally the most time with. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even diving into the whole cliche. It's cliche for a reason, but the whole average of the top 5 people.
No, here's the deal. It's cliche because through internet, right, and access to content, a lot of people have heard that before. But it's only cliche because you got so many people that run their mouth and talk about it, but aren't actually doing it, and just becomes this thing that people say, and doesn't take away any value from like how powerful that is if you're looking at it the right way and you're actually putting action behind that. Or if you just, everybody says it, so and like you're not really understanding. It kind of reminds me of like music. You hear a new song on the radio and it's awesome, but then the DJ plays it 12 times a day, so you're tired of hearing it. It's like, man, it sucks, but it shouldn't take away of like the actual impact of that song and how great it really was, but then it got played out. Very similar, but man, so it's only cliche because of smoke and mirrors and how much people have access to content.
It is, and I want to go a little bit deeper because, you know, I've been reading self-development books for a really long time and just kind of on that bandwagon, and I understood all of these things. But what changed when I met Will was the importance of making sure that somebody in that group, now you don't need too many opinions. You got too many opinions, you're going to end up doing nothing. But having somebody, a best friend, somebody who pushes you and tells you like it is, and is that friend that is willing to be the bad guy per se, and it's not even being the bad guy, it's really just someone who's going to ask why, someone who's going to ask counterpoint, someone who's going to give you a different perspective and say, hey, I hear your idea, but have you thought about this? That person who's willing to push you and question your thoughts and really make you just think twice about the things that you do and say.
And let's give you some context. So just to let you guys, we won't mention any names, but we'll talk about our circle a little bit. So we've got Preferred Lender, who you guys have probably heard on our Living in Denver, Colorado channel on YouTube. That guy I've known since the fitness world, and that guy's been our ride or die and had our back since the day I stepped foot in real estate. And that guy says, hey man, I saw what you built here. I've got your back and I'm building you there. He was like the ride or die lender guy who was going on buyer presentations at 9 o'clock at night on a Friday night, because that's the only time a cop buddy could get it in, because he's on a swing shift, and that's when he has to get it done, and was super committed. And he was in the same place we were in business, but from the lending side. So it's really cool when you can find hustlers per se that have the same amount of professionalism and commitment to their grind, but they're also in the same phase. Because
and phase of life too.
Right. We were both having kids. All 3 of us were having kids at the same time. His business was very similar to where our business was at. He was about a year ahead of us. But the bottom line is, folks that are 30 years ahead of you, they're not in the same position. They're not going to be at that same level of grind, nor should they be. They're not in it for the same thing. So having those folks that grind are super important. We've also got another great friend of ours who's also in the lending world, who we've done a lot of events with. And he looks super young, but he's in his mid-40s, and he's been around in lending since he was 19 years old. And He's been doing it for 25 years, and the dude makes $10 million plus and is a divisional VP, and he absolutely crushes. He's the guy that understands the business aspect and seeing things at scale. So running ideas by him, letting him know what we're up to, he sees it from a bird's eye view. That is huge. In addition to that, he's also been able to introduce us to some super pinnacle people as we've grown, like Ben Newman. I'm a part of Ben Newman's public speaking team now and leadership team, and we're going to be throwing some events. And Ben Newman is your lead performance mental coach for Alabama football, half the NFL, Major League Baseball. Him and I have been chatting for a couple of years, but just now as we've made our climb, I've been put onto his personal team, and we're also going to be throwing events together. Well, I met him through this person 2 years ago because that guy 2 years ago saw us hit top 1% in the world and thought that was awesome. He saw what we were doing, and he opened up his network to us. So that's huge. So far we've got a guy that's similar phase to us, that's on the grind, also similar business level, business ambition. Those are like your ride or dies that are just at it with you every day. The second guy is the bird's eye view, who's significantly ahead of us, but still has a ton of ambition, but just at his level. He's not doing buyer appraisals with us. He's a divisional VP, right? He's doing different things, but he still has that same level of ambition. He sees from a bird's eye view, so he can give some, hey, think of this, think of that opinion, and the network he's built, if we've earned it, hey, he's opened some things up to us that have created some opportunity in and outside of real estate. We've also got another buddy who's a Marine Corps commander with me. He was one of my commanders. Phenomenal guy, just a beautiful human.
Outside of real estate.
Completely outside of real estate. He runs diesel days, and he does a lot of nonprofit work for veterans, and does a lot of like endurance challenges. He's rowing the Atlantic soon. He's done the Badwater 240s, but he sees things from just different angles, and it's really hard unless you're hearing it from him. Like, you just might not even be able to predict his perspective, but he's challenged us as humans. Yes, it's contributed to real estate. Yes, it's contributed to our business, but it was like doing a 24-hour diesel day. That's a 24-hour physical endurance challenge where you're not stopping for 24 hours. Being able to get back into like that military-esque thing, for me, being able to bring a business partner of mine, right? Camaraderie is forged in adversity. So bringing him with me to participate and just grinding and sweating and bleeding and being fatigued together, I knew the benefit that was going to have in business. But without having that gentleman, in our circle, like, it wouldn't even be an opportunity that's available. And then just having that guy around that keep you grounded, knowing like you've got more work to do and you've got some things to get better at. That's been phenomenal. Those are the top three that I've got. Like with our circle, we've got a couple of more that have started to integrate. Ben Newman, since I said his name, he's been huge for us as far as like the events and public speaking and leadership and how we can create our own content. So he's been a recent guy that's come into our five, but hopefully we're giving you guys like the 4 out of 5. I'm sure you've got a fifth one.
The most important one, this guy who's making sure that I show up every single day for
I did not know he was gonna say
every
that.
single day
Dude,
for leg
that's
day.
a cool compliment.
Every single day for leg day.
You son of a bitch.
And that's where it's like, hey, boots on the ground, that day-to-day dude that's going to grind with you or girl that's going to grind with you.
Yeah.
We're going to have a video on partnerships later on, guys, but here's the thing. All those people could go away, no offense to any guys watching, and as long as I've got him
Likewise.
making sure that we're showing up, we're doing the shit we need to do every single day, we're going to make moves.
Eli's also part of that fifth for me, right? Because Eli's the guy that just logistically, everything that I've seen on a vision standpoint, he's been able to actually create and create systems and processes for that, so there's material so we can execute it, duplicate it with our team, duplicate it with ourselves, or we wouldn't be able to scale to where we're at. But hopefully, guys, like the reason why I didn't want to mention names or any of that, because none of that matters. What matters is the type of people that are in our circle is what I wanted to give you context on, so you could at least understand, like, what do you guys mean about your circle? Like, are they just high-level dudes? Like, no, everybody we have in our circle, we are a value add to them.
Yep.
But there's a value add back and how that works, and it's great to have that, including ourselves being part of that five.
Choose your A team. Going back to let's roll A team references. You look at the A team; they all have a role. They're all good at their own unique little things.
Yep.
And if you all have people in your circle that you just like being around, that just make you feel good,
That's okay.
that you just like, it is okay. But man, is it gonna make you be better?
And you just have to understand where you prioritize your time. Who gets more time than not. But the bottom line is everybody in our circle, like the top 5 and then a little bit outside of that, all different financial levels, all different levels of ambition, but all successful in their own manner of what they want to accomplish and what they're set out to do. And they're good dudes, bottom line. And we could do another video on our families and how important our families are. But that's for a different video. But hopefully that gave you some context on just how we utilize our circle and what we're looking for, how we're a value add to them, how they're a value add back. moving forward into our last one, it is your ability to make decisions and your vision. So in real estate, like, are you just that hamster on the hamster wheel? Where like you're just looking for the next deal, next deal, next deal, next deal? Are you the person that's been in real estate 20 years and you've got 20 years of experience, but you don't? You've got 1 year of experience that you've done 20 times? You got to constantly learn how to make decisions and innovate and scale. And at some point, especially like for you running your own, whether you're a single agent or you want to run a team or a downline or whatever you want to accomplish, you've got to be a visionary. But beyond just your vision, because a lot of us have visions, you've got to understand how to navigate the water. Bottom line, right? So for example, our Living in Denver, Colorado YouTube channel, that was a pivot because of COVID. That channel does 13 million a month in volume, right? It's been significantly great. We're moving into YouTube ads on top of that. It's been significantly great. But again, it was, hey, when COVID happened, we weren't sitting down doing nothing. We were showing up at each other's house every day. We were getting our work
every day.
We built our garages out, and we knew, like, hey, we got to keep our mind right. We got to keep our bodies right. And we got to show up and work every single day. And while doing that, our podcast expanded because we started doing zooming people in for the podcast instead of having them in person. That opened up our network of access because that was just way more doable. People were at home and had time anyway, which led to new relationships, which led to YouTube. And that's been that's one of our backbones now, and it's been significantly huge. But the bottom line was, it was constantly looking at what angle we're going to come from and how we can innovate and stay on top of the game during the pandemic. A lot of agents were not. They were hanging at home and complaining about circumstances, or I couldn't do much, and you were riding on the 7 deals you already had done, and now you're behind. All good. I've gone through phases like that in life, so it's not a judgment thing. We've all been there before, but the bottom line is, if you're taking your career serious, if you're taking your brand serious, and you want to scale and you want to be around the right people, you also have to understand that through the commitment and actually doing the work, you will start figuring out how to see a more clear vision, and you'll be better at the decisions you're making because you're in it every day and you're committed to it. You're not just trying to figure it out here and there.
Yeah, guys, and I can't overemphasize enough the importance of understanding how we're talking about building habits here, right? So obviously, maybe you're not the best at decision making. Can you just start the habit of good decision making? You can, but it starts with little decisions. So the little decisions to drink enough water every day and actually doing it. The little decisions to not only prep your food, but eat the meals that you prepped. Doing the things that you said you're going to do, the little things. Taking out the trash, cleaning out your car. Little decisions, guys, leads to big ones.
Or teaming up with the right people to build your brand and build your business. And
Best decision of all.
Is that an option? Yeah, I'll give you the first one. That number popping back up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages and the emails. So if that's for you and you're looking at doing something like that for yourself, yes, we will help you build your brand and your business, whether it's public speaking and leadership, to YouTube, to being a practitioner, whatever it may be. We are excited to do that. So if that can be your first decision that you make right now moving forward, we would love to hear from you. But until next video, get your mind right, get your body right, get your business right. See you guys soon.
See you guys.